It's Eurovision weekend. It's a competition that's supposed to be about bringing Europe together in solidarity through the power of song. Once upon a time, it launched global stars. ABBA, Celine Dion. Okay, not my particular cup of tea, but you can't deny they could write a song or two, at least in ABBA's case. These days, though, Eurovision is less about songwriting and more about signalling. The UK entry this year captures that pretty much perfectly. It doesn't celebrate or represent the country of origin in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't particularly sound British. It's not exactly the worst thing you've ever heard, but it's not exactly good either. The old adage of style over substance. That's essentially what the contest, and let's face it, music in general, has become. Social media clout over good old-fashioned musical talent, which signals to me that we've well and truly given up. And I thought we should talk about it. So yes, the Eurovision finals are here, with semi-finals taking place over in Vienna throughout the week, and then the big night itself, or big night, is on Saturday the 16th of May. That's this weekend at time of recording. And as ever, it looks very... Representing the United Kingdom this year is Look Mum, No Computer, aka Sam Battle, who I'd never heard of, and that's not a flex or anything. I just never come across his stuff. He's a YouTuber slash musician slash engineer type, and he's got a really massive YouTube channel. But I had a little look at his stuff, and he makes like homemade synths and stuff, which is pretty cool, don't get me wrong. But when I listened to the entry this morning... Does anybody get Thomas Dolby vibes? Is it just me? Maybe it's just me. Yeah, it's not good, is it? I mean, I didn't mind the first verse so much. I thought it could have lent into something, but when it drops and it does that...
If only there was a language that I could count in that would make me feel better.
That just loses me completely. Lyrically, there's just nothing to this song. There's no real attempt to sort of evoke an emotion or trigger the imagination or make any kind of connection with the listener. It feels like it was completely stitched together with AI. I think I read somewhere that it's about his experience on tour in Germany, which, okay, fine. But again... how does that represent Great Britain? And also a chorus lines like, darling, I need something salty, Eins, Zwei, Drei with a slice of pepperoni. I'm not sure that really sums up Germany either, or maybe it does. To me, it's a very performative and very message-heavy song. It talks about replacing pounds for euros and that kind of thing in it. And yeah, essentially just wanting to leave the UK for Europe. Very timely, given that Starmer and the Labour Party are essentially trying to rope Britain back into the EU, if indeed he still is PM by the time this video gets released, let alone the finals on Saturday. After last week, that space is developing pretty quickly, so we shall see what happens. But anyway, whether you agree with Brexit or not, or whether you agree with reversing Brexit or not, there was that whole pesky referendum thing, wasn't there? Remember? It was kind of a big deal at the time. It's probably not a great idea to so flippantly go against a democratic vote like that, unless the point of what you're trying to do is get people to check out of democracy altogether. I'm pretty certain they want us to check out on democracy, don't they? And speaking of not being able to vote on things, like, didn't we used to get a vote on who represents us at Eurovision? Oh, yeah. And then the BBC decided that they know better and that they should get to choose. I absolutely love this article from The Guardian, which I think perfectly sums everything up here. The BBC has decided against allowing viewers to choose the UK's entry to this year's Eurovision Song Contest following the poor performance of the British public's recent choices. I wonder which recent choices they're actually referring to there. And with the exception of Sam Ryder, another Sam, and another YouTuber slash musician who came second, except he really came first, but then politics intervened, they haven't done much better than the public vote anyway, have they, to be honest? So is it really about quality and performance, or is it about something else? Don't get me wrong, it's not the most pressing issue. It's not like we don't have like bigger fish to fry in this country, but to me it's very telling and very pandering that the BBC would pick an act that had at least very fairly anti-British leaning lyrics. And to be fair, we here in Britain, we've never really made a contribution to music, have we? We've never really had a musical tradition here. We've never been able to string a note or two together. Never really had great bands, never really had great musicians or songwriters. So yeah, this is the strat, I suppose. This is what we should be doing. We shouldn't be trying to root out and support talented people. Why would we do that? I don't know Sam Battle. I don't know his work, really. I'm sure he's a passionate engineer. and talented musician and everything else that goes along with that. But I can't say this is a good song because it's not. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard, don't get me wrong, but it's not a good song. It's just a modern piece of content. It's just like everything else. It's just watered down and stretched paper thin. I've listened to quite a lot of the other tracks, and I've got to admit it's a bad year, isn't it? It's not really a Eurovision-y year, if you know what I mean, but normally there's like one or two where you think, oh, that's an okay bit, that's an okay verse, that's an okay song, but there's literally nothing this year. So I think it's really harsh to give Sam 80-1 odds to win here, because as bad as his song is, and it is bad, they're all bad. They're all really bad. And that just sums up music in general, doesn't it? Don't you think? You know, music was probably the best thing in life, the thing that made life worth living outside of family and friends and relationships. It used to help us celebrate. It used to help us fall in love and just have a good time, or even just remember a good time, or remember a loved one after they passed away. It was something that really helped humanity, that really represented the best in us and helped draw out the human spirit, the indomitable soul that's inside all of us. And now it's just wallpaper. It's just audible wallpaper. It's just a tool of bureaucracy. That's what it's become. And that's the greatest tragedy of our existence. That's our legacy. This is the modern world. And I'm not saying it's Sam Battle's fault or even Eurovision's fault. They're symptoms, aren't they? Like, this song is a symptom of a much worse disease, which is rotting everything out from underneath us.
Fuck.
So on that cheery note, if you liked that one or if you took anything away from it, please do like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.